You're back. But when somebody says I love you and then call you useless and worthless and bitch and slut, okay, okay, bitch and slut, I'm like, wait a minute. And you start to look at yourself, because I couldn't walk past the mirror because I saw these things when I walked past the mirror, and I'm like, I had a good, like, my upbringing was, we didn't struggle, it wasn't middle class, we didn't do all of that. So I'm like, for you to tell me these things, right, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and to hear them over and over, your brain is a sponge for real, because it absorbs it and it sticks, so you just feel like you're nothing. You feel like you're nothing. Like, kept a scarf on my head. It's like, what do I need to look pretty for? I'm like, I'm not. Girl, but now, honey.
Yes, with that.
Honey.
Terrible day.
Yes. But it took a long time, because I only am here for the last, it hasn't even been 5 years. It'll be 5 years September 1st.
Okay.
It's my anniversary of walking on the Yellow Brick Road and being free. But again, if it was not for my sister, Queen Ivy, bringing me into the fold of domestic violence, raising many tags, and educating me, I would still be stuck on phonics and stuck on stupid.
And still hurt.
And still hurting.
Welcome back to Ivy Couture Uncovers True Stories. Today's guest is Angelina. On part 2, she will share with us how she felt all these years and how she feels now. So let's get started.
Still hurting other people.
And still hurting other people. I had to actually go back and apologize to some people.
Right. You was telling me about that.
And because I experienced my first hurt, and I'm like, oh, this is what I've been doing to people for a long time. So I had to go back and call some of the fellas in my life that I know I hurt and damaged, and apologize. Queen Ivy works on forgiveness.
Yeah.
That was very hard for me, because how do you forgive somebody who done that to you? Who did that to you? How do you forgive them and actually mean it and say I forgive them? It took a long time. But this one some person, the husband, that abandoned us, like he abandoned us a couple of times. I remember times where he left us in a park for hours. No food, nothing to drink. Me and the children, hours. And we went walking again that day. I was a walker, and found him in his friend's house, laid back with his feet up, eating in the air conditioning. We've been outside. So just things of that nature that he has done. I had to recently sit down maybe 3 months ago with a face-to-face with him.
Oh, yeah, share about that story, because I know you was telling us.
Well, when I left him, my babies were 1. They're 28. Okay. Hasn't been much contact. He calls and, daddy's home, out of the blue. Like, you talk about home to the kids that are grown to have kids of their own now and don't even live home anymore. Those daddy's home type situation. Okay.
Right.
So he came. I tried to tell the kids who he was, because growing up, I never spoke bad about him or even shared my story. No, Ma, he not like that. You're lying. I said, okay. It was a big confusion. Big confusion, because they sided for their father. But I've been here all your life taking care of you by myself. Well, he did exactly what I told him he was going to do when he didn't get his way, and up and left again. But before he left, we had a sit down. And I've been holding in how I felt towards him in a situation, on how you did me and treated me. We were across from each other. So if you jumped up, I had time to defend or whatever, by whatever means necessary, however it went. And when he sat at the table, he was waiting for the old me to surface. But it's that education piece I'm going back to. I just looked at him and said, "You disappointed, because I married you for keeps, and you disappointed me as my husband, because I thought you were always going to be there for me and our kids." And he couldn't say anything. Because he was waiting for me to say, my friend, you better, and be the only.
You used your words?
I used my words.
Okay.
And he didn't know how to take that.
Yeah.
So he had to listen. And when we got finished, he said, well, if you want me to apologize, I said no. Because if I have to tell you to apologize, it's still not genuine. I'm okay. Because I have released everything in the atmosphere into you. And we're just going to part like this. And it was peaceful. It was graceful. And I got up and opened the door so you could leave. But you know how I feel.
Exactly.
And I put something in your head. Because I told him, I don't even blame you anymore. Because you're sick.
Yeah.
You're hurt.
Yeah.
And hurt people hurt people.
Exactly.
Because I later found out that his mother was that way to him. And he told me at the sit down, my father and my grandmother shielded me from my mother. That took me in another place, but I still had to use my words, because if they shield you from her, why would you put us, or not even me, why would you put your kids in something that you were shielding?
Exactly, in that situation.
So I told him, I said, I understand you now. So I can't even blame you anymore or fault you anymore. I pray that you get the help that you need before it's too late. You can always come to the classroom.
Exactly.
Because you need the help. So hurt people, y'all remember that?
Yeah.
You can't change a person. You can't heal a person. They have to get help professionally, mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yeah.
They need all of that. So that's my story. It's simple.
It's a good story.
It's real. I wore every tag except the physical. I was the physical one, but I wore all those other tags.
So share the 4 tags that you wear, since you was the 5th one. You always keep it light.
You always keep it.
So share with all 4 tags that you experienced.
Verbal, the emotional, the financial, and definitely the sexual, because I don't care if you're married. No means no. If you say no and you are still having the sex and you're just laying there and you know you don't want it, you've been raped. I don't care if it's same-sex partners, your husband, your boyfriend. No means no. And if it happens to you, you're raped, because in your mind at that point in time, you know how a rape victim feels. You're just laying there. So you know how that rape victim feels. You're raped.
Right.
I don't care what they tell you. No means no. And yes, you can be raped by your partner. You can.
Exactly.
You can.
That's good that you share that with us, because I know a lot of people don't know that.
They don't. Because
They don't know
back in, like I said, in the 80s, it wasn't heard of. Like, oh, you can't be raped by your husband. It wasn't a big deal. But the more people come forward, you can.
Yeah.
And it leaves those scars. You know how it feels to be raped. You feel dirty. You feel all of these things. You ball up. You withdraw from people. You become silent. You just walk around like you are. I used to tell people, I'm just a void. I'm just walking around. I'm an empty shell. I'm just here. You see me. But I always was smiling. I always smile. Nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors when those doors shut.
Exactly.
They don't know.
Exactly.
And when you go to tell them, they look at you like, ah, not him. You mad. Girl, he ain't do that. You mad. Mad about what? You want this life? I would gladly take these shoes off, give them to you, and you tell me how you feel.
Right.
Because I wasn't his only victim.
Exactly. You said he had prostitutes and all that.
I wasn't his only victim. Then he had another female and they had kids. So she got it too.
So that just brought me back what Queen was teaching us. It's always gonna be at least 5 victims with one person.
Yes.
So do you believe that's true?
It's very true. It's very true. I lived it. I'm like, wait a minute. And I found out another girl and our first son, she has a daughter. They like months apart.
What?
Months apart. So I was one of those victims because I think she was first because she had the baby first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she might be the main?
She was probably the main. I just closed up in there and became the wife. So I don't know how that works. But
so you was like number 4? Because it's, alright, so it was the girl,
the girl,
his mother.
his mother,
Who else?
her daughter,
you,
me, and the chick that work at Wendy's.
Yep. So it is. And nothing is that one. So why you think DNA is so important?
You need to know who you are because it explains a lot about how you react to certain things. Like, I didn't know my biological father. I knew the man that raised me, and that's all I knew as a father. And then there's my mom.
Okay.
So I did some digging on my own about my biological father, who was active in Vietnam. He died in but just going through his background and getting papers sent from the army about him, it explains a lot about who I am. His temperament, his infatuation with guns, because he was like high up in the rank with doing something with guns. It explains a lot about who I am. He was married at the time. He got my mom pregnant. My mom was 14. He was already married. So it connected a lot of dots. As where my mom is more laid back. She's that one that I'm in a relationship no matter what. I don't care. We're in this relationship. And if it mess up, I'm gonna push you to the side and then I'm gonna get another one. I'll have another you in a minute. And that's how she is. So it just explains a lot about the balance. You know, I know I got his temper. Then I know I got her. Okay, it's gonna be okay. You know, I'm the type of person, I think I can take this puppy and groom him to be a bigger dog, you know. No, you can't change anybody. Like, I was always bringing strays home and trying to fix them. And honey, I would get bit and then I have to bite back.
Right.
So it just, you know, it just didn't work. As where my stepfather, even though he was about, you know, real DNA, but he raised me, he was that go-getter. So when I left, I became that by any means necessary make it work person. So, you know, got introduced to the streets. And that was all she wrote. But it all ties back into abuse.
Yeah.
It all ties back
So
into
that was going to be my next question to you was, what words did you hear when you was growing up as a child that stuck to you today?
What words did I hear? I was too dark. I always wanted to be better than the next person. You know, better than nobody else. What else stuck to me? I wouldn't say it was so much of what stuck to me as what didn't stick to me. You know, it's what I was missing. You gave me all the negative, but where's all my positive? Because when I was doing things good, I didn't hear good job, right? Or had the support. You know, it was a lack of support because everybody was for me, self. Everybody was about self. So you learn at a young age, do for yourself. You want it to happen, you gotta make it happen yourself.
Right.
So it was the lack of what didn't, but what stuck out with me the most, and it always will, is that I wasn't good enough to fit in this family. Because, you know, but I didn't know, you know, that this was my stepdad. 'Cause to me, this is my dad. You know, and even though he rectified the situation, it was like, well, this is my daughter, you know, blah blah blah. It's still the fact that I heard you say it. So it always gave me this complex where my cousins are lighter than me with the good curly hair. So I always wanted to change my hair. Or, okay, I'm not going out today because I don't want the sun to make me any darker type thing. Or I've got long sleeves on because I don't want to go outside and get dark. And even till today, I say that all the time. To the day at 54, I still say, oh, I can't, I'm not going out there so to get, I still say it till the day. So that is still something that I had to work on to be like, you know what, I'll change back. I'm not that, you know, I'm beautiful. My carpal skill is beautiful. I don't have to be Coco, I don't have to be that. I don't have to be vanilla or scared of the sun making me darker. You know, it's like, but when you hear that as a child, it's like, it freaked me out. It's like, oh, what can I do? Because I wanted to be accepted.
Exactly.
I wanted to be accepted.
Right. Next question. How did you get Bowley Free? Where Bowley Free came from?
My yellow brick road. cleaning that yellow brick road. Because again, I've only been healthy 4 years, going on 5 years.
Right.
So I wouldn't talk about my situation.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't talk about it. I'm like, I was ashamed, I was embarrassed, because it happened to me. And I'm not going to tell anybody my life story. This is so freaking hard. I'm not going to do it. But now you can't shut me up about it.
Yeah, speak all the way
Speak
up.
all the way. I shouted to the mountain. If anybody was like, hey, you want to hear my...
Come in.
I got something to tell you. Because I see it every day now. I see it all the time.
Yes, you start to see.
I start to see it.
Like everybody literally is walking dead.
Yes,
Like,
Walking Dead. Like we all can start in the Walking Dead. We all zombies. Like
Okay.
the apocalypse. Like
we sick.
we're sick.
Stop sleeping. We are sick.
We are sick. Get on this green bike and ride into your yellow brick road.
Okay.
So
Exactly.
I'm like, I gotta be bold with it because I know boldness is in me.
Right.
'Cause my mouth is unfiltered. It always has been. So
Right.
now it's like, oh no, I am bold and I am free. So boldly free came to
Yeah.
boldly free. And I'm like, it's no turning back. So
Yeah.
every chance I get to talk to somebody or share my story, or if I see it and bring it to your attention, because again, they only think it's hidden. No, baby, no.
Mm-mm.
You got to recognize real for what it is.
Yeah, and like you said, they don't talk about the verbal and the emotional, and that's like the worst tag out of the 5 tags that domestic violence with.
It
So,
stays with you.
Yeah.
And even after you get on your yellow brick road and you start to heal, you still want to try to do something. I know for me,
Mm-hmm.
you set out to do something and you go to do it and it's like, ah, and you pull back.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, am I going to be able to do this? Can I do this? Am I good enough to do what they doing? Is anybody going to read my book if I write it? And you have to sit there and shake down and be like, you know what? No, you're bold now. But for a long time, it's like anything you do, it's like a child want to touch something, how you smack the hand and then pull it back.
Yeah.
It's like you have those still insecurities, like I can't do it, or I'm going to start something and not finish it, because that's how the past was. Because you would tell me, I don't know what you're starting there for. You know you ain't going to finish it, or you know you can't do it, and it sticks with you.
It is.
So those words and that emotional abuse,
It's something.
it's something.
It's very deep. It's like, and that's where a lot of people go to sleep at.
Yes.
For real, they go to sleep on the verbal and emotional. And especially for our black community, we don't know what love is,
We don't.
because we never was taught
Yeah,
on
right,
love
right.
or affection and hugs.
Hugs.
And
The
I
skin
love
to
you,
skin.
good morning, have a lovely day. We never, so that's something that our community don't know how to do. So we out here just searching, just looking.
We were never really
Yeah.
taught how to use our words because we don't
Yeah.
express what we feel.
Exactly.
And we just hold it in and we bottle it in. Even the dinner table conversation,
Mhm.
where did that go?
Right.
Where did that go? Even when you were small, did you really have dinner table conversation, or were
Right.
you just sitting at
Yeah.
the table?
Yeah. And they yelling like, hurry up, eat food.
Right. If you don't eat food, you be like, you can't get up from the table. You're not talking to me. You're talking at me, and you're not listening to what I'm trying to tell you. Because
Exactly.
there was some incidences where I tried to tell you something and you didn't want to hear me, you know.
Mhm.
So it's like you just shut up.
I love about Queen of Feet organization because she talks about that, and she also say like pick a word for the month that y'all all want to talk about at this table, so that y'all can start expressing and sharing how you feel and stuff like. So I love the organization. I've been learning so much.
It's like every time you go,
It might sound the same thing,
but you hear something different, and then you can connect about yourself. You be like, oh, wait a minute, what?
I missed that.
Oh.
Like when we went to the classroom. What stood out to me was she was like, for my father's side of the family, she was like, we don't, on that side of the family, they don't know how to really have a serious conversation without making a joke out of it. And I was like, oh my God, I be doing that. I don't be trying to be serious with nobody, but now I see what she was talking about, because we do that.
Right.
And I was like, she just connected.
Roll up some stuff.
Yeah,
Connected some more
she just
dots.
connected some more
I'm trying
dots.
to tell you, by the time we finish connecting all these dots, honey.
Girl, self-work, self-love is gonna be in there.
It's like dot, 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 dot. Ooh. ooh, that's right. And it's like when you connect the number down, it's like, remember that, but then when she had that calculator. Exactly. And it just make a whole lot of sense.
It do, and it make you feel so much better. And you're like, okay, how can I work on this now?
Right.
You know, because like we said, we walking dead, and we don't even know why we walking dead. You know, so it's been amazing. My last question for you, girl. What is some advice would you give the next sister?
For the next sister, I would tell you, I would never tell you to leave your situation, because you know your abuser and I know. You know what he's capable of and we don't. But what I would tell you is, when you move in silence. You can't let any and everybody, nobody know what you're doing, because it could be your life. It could mean your life. If you do find a means to get out, get some help. Don't let anybody tell you you don't need counseling, you don't need professional help. You do. You're sick. You're sick. Because you have to now reprogram your whole life from what it has been. And it's like, if you're like me, you didn't have a life. You got to be reborn again. You got to find out who you are. And you need help. You can't do this by yourself. I'm not taking anything away from religion or praying. But you got to have that one-on-one. You got to get that couch time. You got to get that sister circle time. Surround yourself with genuine sisters who have really been there, who are going to be there for you, and not be like, girl, you see her? Queen Fee, domestic violence, wear many tags. That's your first stop. Go. She's nothing but the truth. She's going to tell you about you, and you're going to probably get angry the first time, because I know I did. I was like, oh, who she thinks she talking to? Who's she? Oh, girl. But now I couldn't do without her, because all she did for me was build me up, make me realize some things, and got me on this yellow brick road to healing, because every day is a new day, and it's one day at a time. It's one day at a time.
And like you say, you had 26 years. So it's like, that's a lot to recover.
Yes. A lot.
That's a lot.
That's
so it's not like it's gonna happen overnight. That's a lot of.
And then you start, everything now becomes a thought process, because now my mouth is not as filtered and flows as it used to. Now when I talk to people, men especially, I think first before I speak. You know, it's called a respect thing. Now I don't look at you as a meal ticket or a piece of meat, or I don't look at you like that. I look at you now as you're another human being, and I'm not trying to hurt you, so I have to give you that respect now. So everything now is a thought process, because you have to use your words. Words are very important.
Yeah, and that's what she
very
teaches.
Important.
She teaches how to communicate, because especially our Black community, we do not know how to communicate
at all. We talk at each other and not to each other. And it's a difference.
Yeah, and she told me something in class. It was like, I felt and I feel. And we tend to do a lot of felt than feel. And the felt is temporary. And I was like, yes, girl, yes. So we rather,
for the moment.
Okay, so we rather let it hold for all these years. Yes. I felt this way so many years, instead of directly telling that person, I feel. And like I told you, I felt 26 years until I saw him 3 months ago. I felt. Now I have to let you go. Yeah. This is how I'm feeling now. But I done felt this way for 26 years. And it has, oh my goodness, and holding all that felt has blocked so many things. Yeah.
And I know it has. I'm pretty sure by now I'm supposed to really been happily married in about the 50s and enjoying life. And I'm pretty sure there's been somebody there, but because I was felting, that's not even the word, but I just made it up. Because I was felting things, I couldn't tell you how I was really feeling.
At the time. Exactly.
And I was just going off of, making a game and joke out of everything. Life to me was just a game and a joke.
Yeah.
It was a game and a joke. It's like, okay, I'm never going to be serious, because I'm not feeling nothing anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, that stuck to me in class. So I was like, we do say felt a lot instead of say I feel. We hold on.
Now,
So where can they find you on social media?
you can go to my Facebook page, Mission Possible, because anything is possible. Also, you can go to Sisters with Purpose Unmasked, another organization that's birthing to help sisters any way we can, because we've all been there and we're in this together. You need me, I need you. We need each other. You can go to my Instagram, which is also Mission Impossible First Lady.
Yes.
First Lady. And Twitter. Sisters with Purpose is Twitter. Sisters with Purpose. So look me up. Contact me. Any further questions, comments. I'm real transparent with my life now. My life is open. You want to know something? Don't ask my neighbor. Come ask me. I will freely tell you. Because my neighbor don't know anything about me.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Ivy Couture.
Yes. Cause we gotta be
Boldly free. No more shackles holding me.
Okay.
See?